There was no place to charge. I was trying. Hi, I'm Lauren Fix. Welcome to another episode of The Car Coach. Today we are test driving the 2018 Mini Cooper S Countryman AII4. That's a lot to say. It's like a whole mouthful of letters and numbers. But this is the Countryman, the largest Mini Cooper that they make. So it's got 4 doors, it's got all the storage you need, but it's not as big as some of these big SUVs. So the Mini E has a plug-in, but also has gasoline on the other side. So I plugged this in overnight. I drove it in from New York City the other day. I had to stop twice, once for gas, and there was no place to charge. I was trying, but there was no place, but it only gave you about 20 miles on the charge. So what did I notice about this vehicle? First off, the brakes are very touchy because of those regen brakes. So every time you hit the brakes, it's taking that energy, you know, from that friction. Friction is just like your hands drawing your brake pads against the brake rotors, taking that heat, that friction, and charging the battery. That's a simple way of explaining it. Total sales for the US last year, 1.7% of 17.7 million. That's not that many cars. So they are selling in California because of the incentives. $7,500 tax credit. There was a tax credit listed on the Mini website up to $4,000, and your state may have more than that too. So make sure to check all the incentives if you choose to buy a plug-in hybrid. So let's take it for a spin, and I'll also show you the back seat. So I just started the vehicle. Do you hear it running? No, you don't. Why not? Because it's electric in this mode until we get going, and then the gasoline will pick it up. So let's go for a drive. It's so weird. You have to get used to it. I know those of you that love electric vehicles think this is the best thing since sliced bread. I'm used to a vehicle having a combustion engine, so this is kind of strange for me. This vehicle starts at $36,800, which is a lot of money for a Mini Countryman, and you can get into an entry-level Countryman for a lot less. But for those of you that want that hybrid option, maybe there's some great incentives in your state, absolutely look at this as one of your choices. It has an optional manual transmission. Best of all, this has got all 4, which means all-wheel drive, and if you live in lousy weather areas like I do, that's a plus. Sometimes there's a lot of road noise because low rolling resistant tires are heavier and they also are more expensive, but they also can be louder. Just something to think about when you go take it for a test drive. Just keep your ear open so you can get a feel for it. So all the technology in front of you is the same as any Mini Cooper Countryman, which is a good thing. Very easy to use. You've got your Mini Connect. Everyone who owns a Mini, who's owned a Mini, will know exactly how to use everything, and if you don't, the dealer should take the time to explain that to you. So I'm sure you're wondering, what are the seats like, Lauren? You always complain about lumbar. All right, the seats are not that comfortable. On a drive from New York City to Buffalo, I have to tell you, I need a chiropractor. The one thing to keep in mind is you do need premium fuel in this vehicle. If you park your car in the open and you don't have a charging spot, that could be a problem. If at work you can charge, and a lot of places aren't offering that, although you may think they do, there's usually a fee attached. Just like when you go to the mall, it used to be free, now they're charging for it. So start looking in your area before you make that decision. Don't just buy the car because you want to have a hybrid and a plug-in hybrid, but look where the charging stations are and then find out if they're charging for it. A lot of places are. Nothing in life is free, not even love. So in the second row, there is plenty of legroom, tons of headroom, and even shoulder room. You can get 2 adults back here very comfortably. 3 will fit, but only for a very short trip. One of the things that Mini offers, and it's not on this vehicle, is to kick your leg underneath and the hatch opens. In this case, this vehicle doesn't have that option, but it's certainly something to consider. Now, what do you have in back? This is something I want to show you. So in back, you get the charger. It's your standard charger. Comes in a nice little case, and it's held down by a carabiner. Everything is the same on the Mini E Countryman, but the only difference is that you've got this electric charging port. So they've done a good job of blending it in. It is a little bit in your face, and of course it's advertised all over the car. But inside, you're not going to see much of a difference. The only driving feel you're going to have difference is that the brakes are really touchy. The one thing you have to get used to with this vehicle is when you start it, you hear nothing. It's silent. And once you get rolling, it goes off the battery power and goes onto the engine. It's a very smooth transition. It's just something you have to get used to, especially when you stop at lights and the engine shuts down. I'm not a big fan of the auto on-off, I know it's supposed to give you better fuel economy, and I know manufacturers have to do that in order to meet their EPA numbers, but that is a personal choice. So when you go to look at a Mini Countryman and you're thinking, do I go this way or just get the regular gas? I think it's a personal choice. All the information is down below, including a link, including ways to follow us, like, and share. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. As you've got your packages, you've got your kids, you've got things going on, and it's not working. I love it. Maybe it has to be locked. Let's try it there. Okay. One of the things that Mini has is the ability to open the trunk by just waving your leg underneath.